Joined now by Crystal Ellis, who of course played basketball at Bowling Green, a lengthy career coaching, teaching, administrating in the Toledo Public Schools. And it's weird for me to call you Boo, because in my mind you've always been Mr. Ellis. But how did you get the nickname Boo?
My mother said it was the first word I said, Boo. And coincidentally, my father's name was Booker. And I think that Boo was in Booker, B-O-O. Mm-hmm. And my father never got a chance to raise me. He was killed at a lumber mill when I was 3 months old. And the only thing I really had that he gave me was the life that I've lived and a picture that it's so similar to me when I've grown up that it scares me. He's about 6'3", weighed about 200 pounds. And I think he was a man's man, because he was trying to stop a truck that was backing up down the hill, and the brakes didn't hold the truck. So that was the beginning of my life. But it went a long ways after that.
He may not have had a major impact on you.
Well, he brought me into this world.
He brought you into
this world. That's a major impact.
And his impact on you has been touched on countless other people, as we've touched on coach, teacher, administrator, and anybody who's ever met you has walked away with a smile on his or her face, and just want to thank you for that. Let's talk about a little bit about your athletic career at Bowling Green. First African-American basketball player at BG, a trailblazer at Bowling Green State University.
You know what is so ironic about this, or about that, is that when I first started trying to play basketball at Roosevelt Junior High School in Springfield, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Not the Springfield here, the
not
one
Holland,
down
Springfield.
there. Yeah, between where?
Not Holland, Springfield.
No, it's between Columbus and Dayton.
Yep.
And when I first started playing in junior high, I read the newspaper, the Springfield Daily News, and it was an article in the sports department, or I should say sports area, that said Charlie Scher makes All-American at Bowling Green State University. Now I think I was in the 8th grade, and I said to myself, and this is God's truth, one day I'm going to Bowling Green State University. Because Charlie Scher was a 7-footer. Mm-hmm. I was only about 5'10" then. But the summer that I went on to high school, I grew 5 inches. And I was so uncoordinated and trying to learn how to dribble that I said, one day I'm going to Bowling Green. And lo and behold, I think I committed myself to Bowling Green State University. Little did I know that Harold Anderson would one day recruit me at the state tournament and then come to my high school and recruit me through his high school teammate. They were both Akron high school graduates. Okay. But in Springfield, Ohio, he was a schoolmate of my coach who ultimately went to Bowling Green when I went to Bowling Green. But Charlie Fox was his name, the high school principal. Great man.
So
he told Harold Anderson that there's only one thing wrong with Boo. Now I'm now a 11th grader who has won a state championship, and my teammates said it sounded as though on the tape that I was the only one playing. In other words, I had grown and dominated the game to the degree that the announcer was calling my name so frequently. The rebound, the defense, the score, leading the fast break. it wasn't a temper, it was a determination. Because one day, and I was in the high school gym my sophomore year, and the coach said to me, he said, "Boo," he said, "you're going to be the best center Springfield's ever had, aren't you?" And I looked and thought, and I said, "I'm so clumsy, I don't even know which way's up." But I went out for cross country. And after I left that cross country field, running 10 miles, trying to compete, and running a 100-mile club, nobody could keep up with me. And that's what happened, all the way up. So it became not a temper, but a determination. And I had great teachers that not only taught me, they inspired me. One of them would say to me, "Crystal, I know you know the answer." Now that was the one I took the book home to study, because she encouraged me not to come to her class without knowing the answer. And ultimately, that led to me becoming a teacher, or wanting to become a teacher. And the rest of my life just blossomed as I took each day at a time. And
inspired by your own teachers, you have certainly paid it forward to multiple generations through TPS, as I said, as a teacher, as a coach, as an administrator. And time again, it's almost like you want to get out, but they keep on bringing reasons to bring you back in. You've always been willing to come back and help.
Why not? I came to serve, not to be served. In other words, I came to help people like people help me. And when you appreciate a high school that has 3,000 students in it, 5 junior high schools in Springfield, all of them feed to that one high school. All of them have football teams, basketball teams, and track teams. And I played all those sports. And then I played baseball in high school. And the football coach took me to Ohio State to meet the Ohio State baseball coach. The football coach was a football athlete from because at practice, where we practiced baseball, but also the football team practiced there. And the people around the fenced-in athletic facility complained about that player over there that keeps hitting those balls over that fence in their yard. And then the coach came to me, the baseball coach came to me one day, and he said, "Don't hit any balls to," I was a left-handed batter. He said, "Don't hit any balls to right field because those neighbors over there are upset with you." I said, "Okay, I'll hit them to center field." So I started hitting the ball to center field. And I found out that Ohio State was not interested in me, the baseball coach wasn't, because of this. Not in my talent, but because they weren't ready for integration of the baseball team at Ohio State. But I played baseball 3 years, and when I hit a ball, if the guy didn't catch it, it caught him. And so I'm not bragging, I'm telling you the determination that originated when I said one day I'm going to Bowling Green where the great center, the 7-foot center played, not realizing that they had no color there, but dreams do come true. So that's been the basic plot of all the years and work. I worked 12 years with the YMCA before I started teaching and coaching at Libby. And I taught hundreds of kids how to swim and just reached them, and I always said, if you can reach them, you can teach them. And I always told them, I'm not here to beat you down, I'm here to beat you up. And if you don't want to get beaten up at the Y or at the school district where I was at as principal, I was principal of 6 schools.
Right.
I never asked to be principal of any of them. The superintendent, and I guess the community, felt that they wanted me at their school because they had seen my 12-year work with the YMCA. I was a character builder. In other words, I always believed in young people because people had helped me along the way and had encouraged me, and I caught fire with what they were telling me. And I thought I could do almost anything that I wanted to do. And I could. My mother used to give me whippings because I swam in Buck Creek upstream. And she said, you know, everybody's drowning in Buck Creek. I said, Mom, I can swim upstream. I said, nobody's down there swimming upstream but me. And later on, I thought, oh, I see someone say, you taught me to swim when I was a little boy or a little girl. And that's what I did. So I gave back, or tried to give back, what I didn't have and what people gave me. And the irony of all this is, my mother put me in school when I was 5, but there wasn't any kindergarten. It's first grade. She told the first grade teacher I was 6. And I kept telling the teacher, I'm only 5. I shouldn't be in school. I should be outside playing. She said, Crystal, if you don't do your work, you'll be in my room again next year. Do you know where I was at the next year?
Where?
In Mrs. Banana's room again. I didn't do my work. But after that, I was exempt from taking exams. You didn't have to tell me. She impressed me. So I ended up being a teacher.
What does this weekend mean for you? What does this honor mean for you?
It's a culmination of all that people have given to me and taught me, encouraged me to be what I wanted to be. And the next thing I knew, I'm in my 80s, and I feel like I've accomplished everything that I tried to do. And I see it every day. Principal of 6 schools, 4 of them high schools. I'm sorry, 3 of them high schools. I was assistant principal at DeVilbiss. But the lives that I touched and the way that I touched them, I'm proud of what I've done to help the children who have become the community leaders in a lot of ways. And I'm so proud of this happening here in Toledo. Because when I graduated from high school, or graduated from college, I went back to Springfield and tried to get a job teaching and coaching. Mm-hmm. They weren't hiring any of us. I had all Caucasian teachers, all the way through the teacher that duplicated the first grade for me, through high school. And you know what? They were the greatest teachers I could have ever had, because they reached me and they taught me. And I thank them for that.
Well, we thank you, Crystal Ellis. You have
My
reached
pleasure.
and taught so many
My pleasure.
in Toledo. Thank
My
you so much
pleasure.
for spending some time with us.
My pleasure.